All right, so let's check this out. These these district judges, um, they just think they could do everything. Like, like it's insane. The White House actually fires back, saying these judges blocking or trying to block the tariffs. They're not like they're district judges. They can't do that. This is crazy. Y'all like the video? Make sure you subscribe, and let's just check this
So here's
out.
what we're following this morning. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the United States will start aggressively revoking Chinese student visas. Meanwhile, the U.S. International Trade Court striking down most of President Trump's tariffs. The White House now pushing back. And then there's the story of Elon Musk. He confirms he is leaving Doge. That was expected. He did lead the agency in saving an estimated $175 billion in slashed government waste. It was quite a bit smaller than
Yes. So with that, our plate is full. Team Fox coverage. Hugh Hewitt's got analysis. He's on deck. Let's start with the news on the tariffs. Major news there. Alexandria Hoff begins there from the North Lawn. Alex, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, the Trump administration is appealing this decision by a 3-judge panel that blocks his sweeping tariffs, the president's sweeping tariffs. The White House stating this, quote, "It is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency." Now, the Federal Trade Court disagreed with the administration applying the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to tariffs. It's something that had never been done before. Quote, "The court does not read IEEPA to confer such unbounded authority." Well, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said this morning that he doesn't think the president's trade deal-making will be impacted by what many will see as a loss of leverage here, saying that there are 3 more trade deals nearly done. He also responded to some skepticism coming from some GOP members and Elon Musk over the president's big, beautiful bill. Listen.
If you're disappointed in the end at what's in the big, beautiful bill, don't forget that there are a million other spending cuts coming because of Doge cuts, because of other things we can do with executive order.
Now, the White House is expected to send a roughly $9.4 billion federal spending cut proposal to Congress next week, doing so by a rescissions package, which is a way for the president to block funds already allocated by Congress. The primary targets there will be NPR, PBS, and USAID. And House Speaker Mike Johnson says there's an immediate effort to codify Doge cuts that coincides with Elon Musk's tenure in the government coming to a close. He thanked the president in a post and added that Doge's mission will only strengthen over time. Now, as a special government employee, which is what Musk was, you're only allowed to serve for 130 days per calendar year. That 130 mark ends at the end of the month. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's a lot. That's a lot for now. Thanks, Alexander. Nice to see you. Thanks, Dana.
Hugh Hewitt is here with us, Fox News contributor. Great to have you. Senator Kennedy was on with Laura Ingraham last night saying this.
Oh, he's great.
I think it's pretty clear that the president has tariff authority. Congress gave it to him. Sooner or later, the Supreme Court is going to have to address this. Those who oppose the executive branch and those who oppose the legislative branch and are seeking recourse in the courts are at some point going to dig up more snakes than they can kill.
All right, Hugh, this all came down last night. A lot of people looking at it and from lots of different directions. So many opinions. What's yours?
Well, good morning, Dana. Good morning, Bill. I read the opinion this morning by Judges Katzman, Reif, and Rustani. The trade court is just another district court. It just has 3 district court judges hearing this. They're very good at trade matters, not so good at con law. It will be appealed to the Federal Circuit. It will eventually end up at the Supreme Court. I understand their ruling on the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, but they don't do a lot of con law, and I do not understand why they did not stay their injunction, because they are messing up a lot of ongoing negotiations. So I think it was reckless in the extreme for 3 district court judges to mess up all these international trade issues. And I do understand the China trade tariffs as being national security. I can even understand the 10% international, the global 10% tariff as being related to as a sort of tax on our defense budget that we do for the rest of the world. So whatever the opinion of these 3 judges, they're just district judges. They're not very self-aware. It's got to get up to the Federal Circuit. I hope it's stayed immediately. It's got to eventually go to the Supreme Court, because the IEEP it's a case of first impression for this kind of a question under the IEEP of 77. So it'll eventually get to the Supreme Court. So I just wish they had stayed it, and I hope the Federal Circuit stays it today.
Okay, this is like the court in the corner, right? I mean, who would ever heard of it? But, I mean, most of us had not,
Right.
and 95% of the people watching the same. Now, with regard to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he wants to crack down on the number of visas given to Chinese students. Read two things for you here. The investigation uncovering Chinese academic espionage at Stanford. You're quite familiar with that. And here are the number of student visas from China. It's the line in yellow versus other countries, which is the line above it in gray. So significant number of students from China. What do you think about the merits of this, Hugh?
I think they're great merits. I would revoke every single one of them until, for example, Jimmy Lai is freed by Xi Jinping, the General Secretary of the Communist Party there. And I would send them all back and then carefully vet every one of them, because it is well known, and it was known in Trump 1, that most of the students here on visas from China are under duress of the communists in China, meaning that they've got family, they've got friends, they've got instructions, and not all. But if you've got 300,000, I believe that's the number, students here from the PRC, they're all beholden to the Chinese Communist Party one way or the other. And if even only 10% of them, 30,000, are actively engaged in spying and stealing and espionage, that's a major problem. So I think Secretary Rubio is continuing what Secretary Pompeo did under President Trump in his first term, which is crack down on the Chinese Communist Party and its agents in the United States. So I'm 100% with them. Send them home. When they free Jimmy Lai, he's being honored by the Brandley Foundation tonight, we can start talking again about a new vetting process. But we ought to be aware, it's like having Germans in the United States in 1935 to 1938. We have to really wonder, what are they doing and to whom are they doing it?
President Xi's daughter herself actually attended Harvard in 2014. She graduated. She was had a pseudonym that she graduated under. This is the New York Times. I don't know if this is the best argument. I've heard better ones, but here, let me read this to you from the New York Times. That the directive will no doubt fuel worries amongst the roughly 275,000 Chinese students in the United States, as well as professors and university administrators who depend on their research skills and financial support. I mean, is that something we can do without?
Dana, I'm sympathetic to some of these who are innocent, but I'm worried about the national security of the United States. And the fact of the matter is, the largest espionage operation ever conducted in history is being conducted by the CCP against us right now. We are in Cold War 2.0. People have to wake up. Secretary Rubio was chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee before he went over to Foggy Bottom. He knows of which he speaks, and pretty much everybody who studies this space knows that this is a problem. We've just ignored it because the money they bring to the universities is so great. So message from the White House is, how do you offer 300,000 student visas to Chinese nationals every year when you know they're legally required to gather intelligence for the CCP? Hewitt, we'll see where it goes. Hugh, thank you. Hugh Hewitt, we'll see where that goes. I mean,
that is pretty dang crazy. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe, join all of this craziness, y'all. I'll see you on the next one.